Hello, everyone. We are continuing to work our way through chapter 5 of the Gospel of Luke. We're picking up at verse 12 today, and we're carrying it on to verse 26. We have two separate healing events. The first is with a leper, and the second with a paralyzed man. As you read these passages today, I just ask that you pray at the beginning that God would have a couple of verses jump out at you that speak to what's going on in your life right now. I'm going to share the verses that jumped out at me. The first is from the healing of the leper. It actually is at verse 15 that catches my attention. In the story, as you read it, Jesus heals a leper. Lepers had a disfiguring disease that was feared to be contagious, and so as a result, they were required not to be in community. They were outcasts. They weren't allowed to be with anybody. We're talking social distance to the max. Now, as Jesus has healed this person, and there's no now physical signs of his leprosy, Jesus gives him instructions to go to the chief or the priests and be declared clean, be inspected by them, and that would allow this man to come back into community, to be with family, to associate with friends. Now, Jesus tells him at the time, don't say how this happened, just go get checked out and get back into the community. Here's what happens in verse 15. But despite Jesus' instructions, the report of his power spread even faster, and vast crowds came to hear him preach and to be healed of their diseases. But Jesus often withdrew to the wilderness for prayer. The two things that jump out at me in those verses is that, one, when we're doing God's work, when people's lives are being transformed, other people want that to happen. Other people want to be in relationship with God, whether they realize it or not. And maybe their initial circumstances are selfish. They just want to be healed of the things that are holding them back. And Jesus is providing that by restoring people or teaching them in such a way that their lives are changed by his teachings. And this is drawing more and more people in. As we share the good news of Jesus Christ genuinely and sincerely, it will transform people's lives, and people will want to be a part of that. Communities of faith grow when we share the good news. That being said, we also need to be mindful of our own personal relationships with God. We cannot share with others what we ourselves don't have, and Jesus is giving us an example of that. Even as he is sharing God's message of love and peace with others, he is making sure that he escapes away to spend time alone with his Father, to be sure that he is keeping his relationship with his Father strong. The second healing is that of the paralyzed man. Jesus is teaching. He's actually in the home in Capernaum, which is Peter's home, or more accurately, Peter's mother-in-law. And as Jesus is teaching in one of the rooms of that home, these men come to bring their paralyzed buddy with them to get him healed. But they can't get to Jesus because Jesus is inside this room and there's a big crowd around him. So the amazing thing is these guys who are committed fully to getting their buddy healed, they end up climbing up on the roof and tearing a hole in the ceiling to lower their friend down. That had to go over really well with Peter's mother-in-law. At any rate, Jesus performs that healing. And at verse 25, we pick up the tale. And immediately, as everyone watched, the man jumped up, picked up his mat, and went home praising God. Everyone was gripped with great wonder and awe, and they praised God, exclaiming, "We have seen amazing things today." When we see God at work, we realize there are amazing things happening. And that's my prayer for all of us today, is that we would be aware of the things God is doing. Sometimes they will be amazing, like the healing of a paralyzed man, or a man who once had a leprosy or a disease, have that disease go away. Those are major miracles. But God is performing smaller miracles around us all the time. We need to be sensitive to them and amazed by them. And as we become more sensitive to the things that God is doing, and we become more bold in declaring them, our own relationships with God will grow deeper, and our ability to share that relationship with others will grow stronger. So today, pray that you might see the God of transformation at work in your life. Seek to make your relationship with the Father deeper by spending time with Him, and go and share the good news with others. Have a great day, everyone. If these devotional videos are helpful to you, subscribe to our channel and click the notification button so you know when we post a new video. And of course, please share them with others.